Okay, so Overwatch and Battleborn.
Take two.
Shut up, Crit. You and I have played both of these games for, what, a few months now? Roundabouts?
Yeah.
And I think it's time that we did a post-mortem on the whole situation surrounding these two. Now, Overwatch, without a doubt, runaway success. Blizzard has done pretty much everything right. Whether what they did was right, morally speaking, is another story. But they've done everything right. Whereas 2K and Gearbox, they flubbed Battleborn.
They dropped the ball
hard.
and they just said, "Fuck it, fuck it."
They really dropped the ball here, and we've discussed where we thought that they went wrong, and one of those areas was marketing. Whereas the marketing for Overwatch was everywhere. There's this thing called mindshare. Now, like I've said, it applies to, especially, this is a good example, is AMD versus NVIDIA. NVIDIA, even when AMD has a very competitive product, even a product superior to NVIDIA's, NVIDIA outsells them because of mindshare. They are on everybody's mind. What do you see packaged with a lot of games? You see NVIDIA PhysX. You see, NVIDIA GeForce, the way it's meant to be played. NVIDIA GameWorks. Shit like that. It's everywhere. Overwatch is very much the same way. Overwatch was everywhere prior to release. And not to mention, that opening, Disney Pixar-style trailer at BlizzCon, that was a great way to start things off for their new IP.
Oh, people eat that shit up.
And afterwards, they also did animated shorts, which it hooked into people. It got them to actually care about the world and the characters. It got them very interested. There's tons of discussion right now around the lore and backstory of Overwatch. People want to know more. They're hungry for more. And what did Battleborn do? Hey. We're Gearbox. We made that Borderlands thing a while back. Buy our new game. That's Borderlands. That's the Battleborn marketing strategy, and it didn't work. Gearbox was drunk on their own hubris when it came to the marketing, because they have gotten away with so much shit since Borderlands 2. In fact, Borderlands 1, they had some shady shit going on there too. I'm not going to talk about that, but Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel, they did some awful, very consumer-unfriendly things, not to mention they really shat on some smaller content creators and ripped off portions of their work wholesale. And got away with it. Nobody punished them. Not a goddamn thing happened to them. In fact, the head of Gearbox Software is a raging cunt because of how he talked about how he got away with this shit. And then they just went into this. Just like, oh, we'll make it, it'll sell. We're fucking Gearbox, baby. Look what happened. Battleborn fell flat on its face. It's been out for how many months now? 2, 3? And it's already been in the Humble Bundle.
4.
It's 4. It's already been in the Humble Bundle.
36 days after its release. Yeah.
It's already been in the Humble Bundle. It's been on sale on Steam for anywhere from 40 to 60% off. I've seen both. And the player base is just plummeting. It's bottomed out. And it's a shame because the game itself is actually not bad. It's a solid game. It has problems, but it's a fun experience for me. But it's just been absolutely eclipsed by Overwatch. Marketing strategies. It's just Blizzard is so much better at it than Gearbox and 2K have been. But okay, what are your thoughts on the marketing? This is the part where you speak.
Yeah, I got that. I just wasn't pressing my push to talk button.
Oh.
Bitch. The thing was, with their marketing, if Blizzard's marketing department was a person, just a normal person, they would, have a fucking cannon strapped to their back, and that cannon would just have the word fucking hype written on it.
Yeah.
Hype! And they'd be walking around with their dick out of their pants, blowing on a kazoo, jumping up and down, banging gongs together, screaming at the top of their lungs, "Hey! It's a new game! Come buy it! It's Blizzard! We love you!"
And people would actually pay money for it.
Yeah, and my God, 2 to 3 months before Overwatch released, man, there was no website on the internet that didn't have a fucking Overwatch ad. Somewhere there was an Overwatch ad. It didn't matter. It's like, hey, well, could always use more heroes. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, the other thing that helped with Overwatch was the whole Bootygate thing and shit like that.
Oh yeah, controversy right off the bat sure fucking helped. By God.
And another thing I will say, apologies to a much larger, much better YouTuber than us. I think Jesse Cox said it best during an episode of the Co-Optional podcast. You can kind of gauge how successful something is on the internet by the amount of Rule 34 the fandom has produced.
Oh my God.
Overwatch Rule 34 before it even released. Don't ask me how.
If you put it in a book, it'd be thicker than a fucking dictionary.
There were 36 pages, literally 36 pages on Rule 34 of Overwatch. I checked this when I was talking to you one time, and then didn't we check on Battleborn and there's a page?
Yeah, it's all the same fucking character. People have the weirdest boner for the weird spider chick.
And so that's one way you can kind of gauge how successful something is going to be. And damn, Overwatch, they buried Battleborn in that regard. Sorry, I kind of interrupted you with a tangent. Go on.
It doesn't matter, but damn, dude, the media for days. It was fucking Overwatch. Battleborn just never got its say. And I think that's Gearbox's fault. They knew what was going to happen. They had their opportunity. Dropped the ball.
And
it's all on them.
Didn't you mention before that you thought it would have really helped them if they would have had... Your first talk button's stuck, by the way.
Go on.
Didn't you mention before it would have really helped if they had included some Borderlands characters to try and build up this franchise?
Yeah, seriously. I think a big problem was the character design. It doesn't matter. All of the Blizzard characters, they're fantastic. They're likable. Everyone knows them. Everyone loves them. Everyone wants to be their friend.
Okay, so I guess we're going to segue into differences and similarities at this point.
Oh, yeah. But
so, in case you're wondering the similarity, they're both hero shooters, and they've got quirky, wacky cartoon characters, but they're a different kind of quirky, cartoon, wacky character.
Yeah. Seriously though, the character's just fucking unlikable in Battleborn. Let's take some of my least favorites. Fucking Montana. The hell is wrong with his tiny little man head?
Okay, fuck you. I like Montana. I think he's funny.
Yeah.
Now, where we both agree, though, is Galt. Galt does not look like he belongs in
Special Ed John Travolta, who also happens to be black and have shotguns, or some crazy combination of Mike Tyson and Barack Obama. It's they took the top half of Barack Obama's head and super glued it on Mike Tyson's jaw and body. And his character is so freaking ugly and
it's not just that. His overall design and aesthetic doesn't seem to fit in very well with the other characters. And yes, I do realize that all of Battleborn's characters have very exaggerated proportions and anatomy, but Galt just seems like he's done it in a completely different style. He looks like he was designed for a different game, and they just needed okay, I hate to be this guy, but it seems like they either just needed a black guy or they just wanted a cool character to dual-wield shotguns. So they put Galt in there from some other little side project one of the devs was working on at the time. That's what he looks like. And it's really jarring seeing him next to all the other characters that I like. You want to talk about good character design in Battleborn? Let's talk about Melka. Melka looks fucking awesome. I like Melka. I love her voice acting. Everything about Melka I really like. Okay, not everything. Her ability design is a little weird. I don't like the mix between machine pistol and melee sometimes, and being squishy. But then there's also Orendi. Orendi's a fan-fucking-tastic character. I love Orendi. She looks weird. She acts weird. She says weird shit that's horrifying.
This is the one with all the Rule 34 viewers.
Yes, she is the one that people get.
Seriously, what the fuck?
I don't know. But
Weird bug arms, man. They like people got weird bug arm fetishes. I think this is the furry fandom coming out in people.
but here's the thing about Overwatch, like we mentioned it before, it's like the whole Disney Pixar like adorable kind of looking characters. People got really attached to them. They look really friendly and inviting, most of them. Reaper, I'm sorry, he's edgy McEdgerson.
Yeah, everyone needs their edgy McEdgerson. And see, I think they kind of failed on the edgy McEdgerson characters in Battleborn. I think that was part of the deal. Honestly, I think the biggest part was like there was just no character connection. Like there was no point. Like with with Overwatch characters, there's at least one character you're like, this is like me. I could be this person if only I was, like a 260-pound Chinese girl who could like freeze people to death and then shoot an icicle into their face. But no, like. Seriously, there was no connect to Battleborn characters at all. They were all extremes, and you never really felt connected. And it didn't help that their storyline is locked behind progression. Like that's not okay. That's not okay. 2K. Like we want to know about our characters. I mean, like it's bad enough that you start out with what 2, 3, 5 characters.
No, you start out with 5. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Now,
yeah.
and out of all the starting characters, there's only one who was real. Well, yeah, one, because you don't start with Melka. You just do the tutorial as Melka, and then she's locked. And the only good starting character who's really interesting is who we call Sword Vegeta, aka Wrath.
Sword Vegeta. All right, we call this because this is actually the voice actor for the U.S. dub of Dragon Ball Z. And I don't know, it's just satisfying hearing Vegeta say, "Ha ha! I'm going to cut you into pieces, you fucked lords." Like, yeah. Like that was satisfying. The voice acting in the game was never in question. It was fantastic through and through. What was not fantastic through and through was the follow-up. Like, damn. Get your shit together, guys. Come on.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like, when you got a character, they look good, they sound good, there's no story behind them. Like, there's no appeal after that. Like, come on.
Now,
anyway, go on,
whenever you first started talking about character connection, I thought you were talking about something else. I thought you were talking about like the connections between the characters and the character interactions, because that's another big thing that gets people attached to the Overwatch characters is that they have very human relationships with one another, and
yes.
The Battleborn characters don't. And they have connections to one another, but they're just kind of like. It's like an ensemble cast of weird, like, otherworldly, completely unrelatable characters, and there's not as much for the user to latch onto. And like you said, it's all locked behind their system. You have to grind. You have to grind until you're blue in the face to unlock the story. You have to grind until you're almost blue in the face to unlock most of the characters. Most of the good characters, anyway. When I say good, I don't mean good as in how strong they are. I mean good as in the ones I personally find interesting to play. That's just me. But yeah. I mean, how long did you say you have to grind to unlock the story for one character?
Okay. Let's see. I started playing the game, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a bit of an addiction to it, like when it first dropped. Or not when it first dropped, but when I first started playing it.
Yeah, we got into it like a month after release.
Yeah, and we're moderately hardcore gamers. We're not strangers to grinding and the grind. And when we get our mindset in it, some of us will play mindlessly for hours on end.
I won't lie. I personally enjoy grinding in certain games. I just kick on some music and I just go. I have fun with it.
Yep. And I played probably like 90-something hours in 2 weeks. I want to say about 90 hours in 2 weeks. Which is a little insane for like one game, since I was playing multiple games at the time.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I was mainly focusing on one character, and in all that time, I never got the character to the max level, which is 15, by the way. Yeah, and so I stopped and I thought about it and I did the math. So if you were to do the most difficult mission which you won't always pass, by the way, in any case.
Yeah.
If you were to do the most difficult mission multiple times, it would take you 96 run-throughs to complete this mission. Right?
Yeah.
96 run-throughs. And this mission takes probably half an hour to do. For those of you at home, that's fucking 48 hours. 48 hours! 2 whole days of nothing but grinding.
And it's not like you can just run around, like, see, we're going to get into another beef you have with the game. It'd be different if you could just, like, run around different areas and grind different things to unlock these things. But it's the same story mission over and over. The same lines, the same minion waves, the same bosses, over and over again.
The same unskippable fucking cinematics.
Even though I love that cinematic, yes, the same unskippable cinematic over and over again for 48 hours. That's what you have to do to unlock the story in this game. And you know what? As much as I'm bitching about some of this stuff, mechanically, I love Battleborn. I think it plays fantastic. I love the multiplayer because it feels more like a MOBA than a shooter. I'm more of a MOBA player than a shooter player. And the multiplayer mode really feels like that. The co-op, the PvP multiplayer mode. Now, the co-op and the single player, it just kind of feels like Horde mode, doesn't it? That's what it just feels like, a Horde mode. If you want that, you can play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. You can play Saints Row. There's a shit ton of Horde mode games you could play to get the same experience as Battleborn. The meat and potatoes of Battleborn is probably the PvP. And unfortunately, since the population is dropping,
it's broken anyway.
Yeah, well, it's getting less fun because it has to match people who are much more skilled or have all the characters unlocked up against people who don't. Now, if we're talking about the similarities and differences between these two games, Overwatch it's a class-based shooter first. And no, you fuckers who make comparisons to Team Fortress 2, it is not a TF2 clone. Yes, they have some characters that take heavy inspiration from TF2 classes, but at its heart, like, the character design is more MOBA-ish than it is ripping off a class-based shooter. Every character fits a certain archetype in Overwatch, same as Battleborn. But they're not direct copies of those classes. Nobody can tell me that Roadhog or Reinhardt are just a heavy. The world of difference between those two things.
Yeah, no, it and that's part of the other deal, like the class spread and the balance. Honestly, the sniper characters, they don't feel like sniper characters, and oh god, how do I want to say this? The sniper characters in Overwatch do not feel like the sniper characters in Battleborn. And the balance issues are so much different.
They're so much more complex in these two games than they are in TF2, but we're getting off on a tangent now.
Well, I think that's part of the thing. Like, they have so much more variety in Overwatch, yet the game's balanced.
Yeah.
Battleborn has so much less variety, and the game's not balanced. And I think that is a big issue, since both games, in the end, are multiplayer based. Like, that's their point.
Yeah, like I said, the meat and potatoes of Battleborn is hands down, it's multiplayer. But, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, these games, I don't see why they got pitted against each other as rivals so much. Actually, yes, I do. I do see why. It's because the online community all around is stupid. They're stupid. They take things at face value too much without looking into them. And that is part of what has hamstrung Battleborn right out of the gate. Because as soon as it was announced, it was billed as the competitor to Overwatch. And it is not. They are not similar enough in design to be considered competitors. Battleborn is in this weird no man's land where it could be considered as much a competitor against Overwatch as it is a competitor against League of Legends. And quite honestly, it doesn't want to be a competitor against either one of those. I didn't bring up Heroes because Heroes, I hate to say it, is the little dog in the MOBA scene. It is.
But it's so much more appealing, personally.
Personally, yeah, I like Heroes more than League, but that's another video for another time. But yeah, Battleborn, it should not have been billed as this rival, and I think a lot of people who were already hyped up for Overwatch were just like, "Ooh, we have a new game with more quirky characters. It'll be a lot like Overwatch. I'm going to check it out." And then they checked it out. This is nothing like Overwatch. Fuck you, 2K and Gearbox. Wah. It's like, what, you people went in without doing any research, and you got what you deserved. But in that term, the game got what it didn't deserve. It got shat on by people with different expectations than what the game actually was.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge problem. I feel like it was like a perfect storm of bad things that happened to Battleborn. It came out at a bad time. And
yes.
No matter what, it was going to have to go head-to-head with Overwatch, because if they had changed their release time, Blizzard would have changed their release time. Or moved it up. Too. They would have done anything to just like head off Battleborn at the pass and make sure that they got better sales. Or they would have had like a free beta weekend for everybody or something. Actually, they did do that. They did a free beta weekend for everybody when Battleborn first came out. They did that on purpose. They always do that shit on purpose. But it came out and it was in the same week as what? Dark Souls 3? And a Fallout expansion?
Alright, yeah, let me see. Hold on. I have this list again. Here's just a couple of the big names that dropped around the same time. Oh shit, Ratchet and Clank dropped at that point in time. I know that's not important, but for PS4 that was like a big thing.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 DLC dropped in April preceding it. But so did Dark Souls 3 and a couple of really good RPGs for the 3DS. Some good shit, and then like right after Battleborn drop, it's like boom, Uncharted 4, boom, Doom, boom, Homefront, boom, Overwatch, boom, another fucking expansion for Fallout 4. It's just like, Jesus Christ, what were they supposed to do?
Okay, I
like they got fucked.
I just want to note
the release date.
I think that the 3DS RPGs are irrelevant to the topic at hand. Like, there's not enough of a overlap between those demographics for those to have made any kind of like difference between Battleborn's success or failure. But Doom, Dark Souls, Homefront, the Fallout expansions, all of that is there's a shit ton of overlap there, and that likely really, really hurt them right out of the gate. Especially, Doom. Doom is one of the biggest games this year, which, by the way, new Doom is fantastic. So, yeah.
Not a fan. Personal opinion.
I am. What I played it on the free Steam weekend, so I liked it. But, yeah, it came out at a bad time, and they didn't put much effort into marketing. I don't know what was going on at 2K. What happened?
I think they just like kind of went bleh. I think that they thought it was going to be a success like on its own, and don't get me wrong, the game at that time felt pretty decent, but I don't think it was complete. Like Overwatch, even though there's like massive gaping holes in it,
cough, no new maps. We need new maps soon, please.
It feels more complete. Like, it feels well-rounded. It feels like,
Oh, sorry. I got to interrupt. Another sticking point with me between Overwatch and Battleborn. Overwatch, the engine, smooth like butter. That game runs great on a wide variety of hardware, on a wide variety of settings, and the game will look fairly good even at lower settings. Blizzard, you nailed it when it came to that. Battleborn runs like ass unless you got a really powerful PC. I recently upgraded, and until I got this GTX 1070 i7 build, Battleborn ran like shit.
I got a pretty good rig, and like on maximum settings, I can only run it for about 2 or 3 hours before my shit starts to go. You know, you can't keep this up forever, man.
Well,
Like,
I mean, on my old AMD rig, first of all, my AMD rig ran hot anyway, but man, that 290 it just sounded like a fucking hairdryer after about 30-40 minutes of playing that. And it struggled. It really struggled. Because it seems like it's intensely CPU bound, and my 8350 just couldn't hang in Battleborn. Whereas the 8350, I get about the same frame rate as I did on this i7 in Overwatch. I mean, the engine and everything was optimized to just like obscene levels of polish in Overwatch. Battleborn, it seems like this, like, it's running and it's stable, let's shove it out. That's what Battleborn felt like when it came to like how smooth the experience was, depending on your hardware. Now I can just muscle through all the problems with the engine. Before I couldn't do that, and it kind of pissed me off. But that's another big problem I had with these two games. And honestly, Overwatch is the better looking game. I'm not talking about aesthetics either. I'm talking about like the graphical fidelity. Like the lighting details and the textures and the models seem far more detailed in Overwatch than they do in Battleborn. There's no reason why Battleborn should run like ass on lower end hardware when Overwatch doesn't.
Overwatch looks pretty and this shit doesn't.
There's no excuse for it. I mean, there are parts of Battleborn that look fantastic to me. Parts of it. Like, I think Battleborn's lighting effects are really good. It's shit like that. Their spell effects are really good. But overall, the game, like, it looks like it would be a game about as demanding... it looks like a game that wouldn't be quite as demanding as Overwatch. Like, its overall graphical fidelity seems on par with, like, Overwatch Medium, or a.k.a. Overwatch console settings. And
I'm sorry, dude. It looks like it could run on a fucking 360 to me. It just does.
Not to me. I think that's cell shading playing with your eyes there.
Yeah.
But to me, Overwatch, much better looking game, runs much smoother. What the fuck did you do, Gearbox? But yeah, okay. Now, like, do you think it was the fault of the devs, the community, or was it just a big mess what happened to Battleborn? Because me personally, I think it's partly to do with the development team and the marketing department. They share the line. They have the lion's share of the blame when it comes to the failures of Battleborn. But I also don't think that the community and their obsession with having to make these fucking trivial rivalries between different games, they did not help at all. At all. They helped drive this game to its, well, it's not going to die. I got a prediction for what I think is going to happen to it, but I'm going to save that. I don't think it's going to die. I know where this train's heading, but the community really helped put the nail in the coffin for Battleborn. Your thoughts?
I think that with all of the hype around one of the games, they had a lot of I don't even know how to say what I want to say right now.
Well, I guess I can boil down my question. Do you think it's more on the company who made Battleborn, or do you think it's more on the community? What happened?
I think it's probably more on the company, to be honest with you.
Really?
Like, I think Gearbox saw the problems with their games. They definitely saw the bitching in the forums, and there was quite a bit that they could do to fix the stuff, and I don't think they would fix it.
See, I can agree with this, and another reason, or a reason why I agree with it is, do you know I was a beta tester for Battleborn? And
okay,
it was in beta before Overwatch was even announced, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And they had a lot of time to fix all these problems, and they just didn't. They had a lot of time to get their name out there and get hype built up for this new franchise, and they didn't. I'm wondering why they didn't try to do some kind of tie-in with Borderlands to raise awareness. Maybe it was because they didn't want to be known as the Borderlands company and they wanted this new IP to stand on its own. And that's a noble aspiration, but at the end of the day, you're a business. And it was a bad business move. This was not going to stand on its own if you didn't fix a lot of its problems and market your game better. You needed that legacy support from Borderlands to prop this thing up, and you didn't do it. For whatever reason, you did not do it.
Yeah. No, there was just so many little problems. I think the little problems like came back and hurt it in the long run.
And like I said, at the end of the day, I still like this game. You know, I'm probably going to play this game later tonight. I still like it. It's got a lot of little niggling, just like problems with it that add up to a mountain of shit in the end. Well, now, like we said before, Overwatch and Blizzard did everything perfect. They did everything right. The controversies have done nothing but help them get better. Like, there's so much exposure for the game now. It's ridiculous. The community's behind the game 100%. The community seemed like it was interested.
78%.
The community seemed like it was interested in Battleborn at one time and quickly discarded it whenever they realized it wasn't quite the same as Overwatch. So I think I agree with you overall. The devs and the marketing department hold most of the blame when it comes to what happened to Battleborn. I still think the community played a part.
Oh, I can agree with you. The community didn't help, and the misconception on like what Battleborn was as a whole, because like everyone expected MOBA or everyone expected shooter, and what they got was weird. Like it's an interesting game based solely on its, you know, how unique it is in the like, you know, genre of games.
Well, it's not going to have that uniqueness very much longer. There's a lot of games that are kind of similar to it. I say kind of because I don't want to make the same mistake the people who compared Overwatch and Battleborn made and say, "Oh, it's just like Battleborn." No, from what I've seen, they are games that are fairly similar, but they're still kind of their own thing. But it's diluting the hero shooter genre to the point where these games are always going to be considered rivals. Like Paladins and Gigantic and Lawbreakers. These are all games that are coming out and filling this same genre, even though these games aren't really that much alike on an individual basis. But you can't have a genre for each individual game. I'm sorry, you just can't. We just need loose definitions to decide like what these games are and whatnot. And I think that's going to hurt some of these games in the end. I don't think Overwatch belongs in like the well, you can't say it doesn't belong. I think it's like the odd man out in the hero shooter genre because most of these feel more like MOBAs than shooters to me. But at the end of the day, people are going to do what they're going to do. We can't help that. But what do you think the future holds for Overwatch and Battleborn? Because from what I can see, Overwatch is doing everything right for now, but
we're dealing with Blizzard here.
We
know
dealing
how
with
Blizzard's decision making works.
They're going to get giant dollar signs in their eyes one of these days.
Yep.
Or like the controversy currently surrounding the Symmetra Devi skin. Again, another topic for another time, but just short aside. It could, depending on how they react to that could hurt the game. Some. Not a lot, but some. It might poison the well when it comes to discussing Overwatch and Blizzard's business practices. And they need to keep up the content updates for like characters and maps fairly quickly and make it fairly routine. I'm not saying we need new maps like every 3 or 4 months, but I think they should at least release new maps or even a new game mode like every 6 months to a year at least, for the sake of longevity. And new characters like every 3 months or so until they're satisfied with the meta. If they think they get to a point where more characters will hurt the balance more than help it, I totally get it. That's when you stop making new characters. I don't know.
I think the characters the character that they've already released has kind of like rocked the meta. I mean, if you look at like some of the pro circuits and stuff, they've changed from like what used to be the staple was 2 DPS, Reinhardt, then a Lucio and a what is her name? Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And that meta is shifting towards instead of the Mercy, it is now a Anna, which like blew my mind because I didn't think the healing output was the same at all.
I think her healing output overall is like her overall output's the same, but she can heal a lot of different targets at once, whereas Mercy has to focus on one. But shaking up the meta is fine. What I mean is like destroying the meta, where like I think League of Legends has kind of reached that point with character saturation. They're to the point where a new character, if it's too good, it does more than just shake up the meta. It wrecks it until they make major changes to other things. And I don't think Anna's done that. And I don't think new characters are going to do that in Overwatch for a while. Once we start getting on like the 6th or 7th character release, if they even do that many, that's when we might start having problems like League has. But right now, I think they're fine. Just keep the content updates regular. This game's got a very long life ahead of it. Now, when it comes to Battleborn, they said they were going to release new story stuff at the same time as the new character. They're late on that.
They've got 2 new characters, and we have no more story.
I think the reason they're late is story is a lot more expensive than a new character, and they're just not pulling in the money. Sales are low. It's just all around. And like, if they could deliver more story missions, like on a regular basis, I'd be way back into this game. I would love to have a new story that I don't have to grind for, that I can just play the game and get. And I what's going to happen to Battleborn? I'm calling it right now. I think I called it. Oh, I thought, well, I didn't tell you this. I was thinking to myself, like a month or so ago. Battleborn is going to go free to play. It is. It's going to go free to play, just like another massively failed multiplayer shooter did that came out last year. And I think when Battleborn goes free to play, that's when Overwatch might actually have some stiff competition. Because even though these two games are very different, they've been pitted against each other by the community. They've been forced into being competitors. Well, Overwatch will have a serious competitor on its hand once Battleborn goes free to play. I think as a free to play product, if they don't do too many money grubby changes to their business model, is a must have. It would be a must have. It'd be a fantastic value for money kind of game. I would say hands fucking down. Go get Battleborn. It's free to play. What the fuck are you thinking? Get it. If it went free to play right now, dude, I would recommend it to anybody. As it is currently, I cannot recommend it unless you can get it like on sale or something. Like, if you paid full price for Battleborn, I'm sorry, you got ripped off.
Agreed.
It's still a good game, but a full price game, it's not very good. But yeah, Battleborn's going free to play for sure, or at least I think it's for sure. I don't know. How do you feel about the future of Battleborn? Do you think it even has a future? Because personally, I think it'll last a long time as a free to play game. But if it doesn't go free to play, I don't fucking know. I think it's dead in the water. It'll just get shut down. So, I mean, I think you're pretty confident on the future of Overwatch, as am I. I just don't know how to feel about Battleborn.
I think Battleborn is already dead in the water, man. Yeah, I think it's Dunyan rings. I hate using your word, but yeah, I think it's done.
And it's not my word. I stole it from somebody else.
Fair enough. I still think it's fucking done. There's just not enough to it. Like, to make it worth the price. Even if it was free to play, I think that it doesn't have the staying power to keep people interested and to keep people playing consistently anymore. Like, it reminds me of another game that I was playing a while ago, and then I tried again recently, and it kind of killed it for me. And that is Payday 2. Like, it's got so much in common with Payday 2 in the way that like, if they went free to play, the same market, it would work. And then since they're doing all this like premium bullshit, it's gonna fall through. Like, there's no way around it. You know what I mean?
Okay, let me ask you this: if Battleborn went free to play, how do you think they should handle like the free-to-play business model? Like, what do you think should be free up front, and what do you think should be locked behind a paywall?
I gotta say, I think that I think that character unlock should be a like freemium kind of thing. Like,
So,
not to say like you shouldn't be able to get characters without paying. I think that like if you want to boost characters leveling or something frivolous
yeah.
like that, it should totally be a premium thing. Like I don't see any way around that.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
no. I agree. That sounds fine to me. I don't think there's anything egregious about that.
they've already got skins and stuff in the game. That seems like a dandy fine freemium fucking thing. But like right now, if you look at the cost of some of the skins, they're fucking outrageous, dude. Like goddamn. I think that the price for like one of the skins is like $6 or $8 is what I saw, and that's
Heroes of the Storm prices, and I think Heroes prices are ridiculous.
Yeah, I think Heroes are ridiculous, and I still have almost all the fucking skins.
Now, so long as Gearbox doesn't lock like any of the single player, unless they do like an expansion or something, they lock it behind like a paywall, or you can grind in-game currency to unlock it, I would be okay with that. Like, if the base storyline is all free to play, and then maybe like Third People a Bone, the first DLC storyline, is like free to play for a certain amount of time. Like if you sign up for sign up for Battleborn, like within the first like week of it going free to play, you get the first like story expansion for free. I would be perfectly fine with that. Then after that, you can charge like in-game currency. So basically, you pay with time or money to unlock additional story campaign. Character boosts. Yes. Skins. Yes, but lower the price. Please, for the love of God, lower the price. All that stuff should be freemium. Don't do anything involving gear. Please, Gearbox.
No. Please don't.
No gear microtransaction. No buyable loot boxes with real cash. Please.
Cough, cough. Yeah. No, like, I am really proud of Gearbox for not doing that to begin with.
Yeah,
like,
I'll be honest, I expected it. It.
No, I was so sure that they did it at first, and then I saw it. Yet you can't buy Gearboxes with premium currency. I was just excited. Like, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that they did this. I'm so proud of you guys.
Well, we're going on 42 minutes here. I think we should wrap it up, and I think my final thoughts were, when I first heard about these two games, I too was kind of in the dark, and I thought, oh, these look kind of similar. And then the more I dug into it, the more I saw how different they were. But I loved the differences between them, and that's why I love both games. Do I think Overwatch is the better game overall? Yes, I do. But I still think Battleborn's got a lot of merit to it, and if it can just find its feet again and not go under, I think it'll be a worthwhile experience.
I think it's too late. I'm sorry. I think it's just so dead in the water.
You say that, but Evolve was dead in the water. What, last summer? Like it was dead last summer. It had like 1,000 players total. Like that was its peak players after like the launch window. It was like 1,000 players, and it's
brutal.
It's the #1 game on Steam right now, where it was like as of last week after it went free to play. Like they had like something stupid like a 15,000% increase in active players when they went free.
That's
to play.
pretty awesome.
And they're staying too. But the thing is, like, this is apples and oranges in a way, because the people who made Evolve went back and they changed a lot of gameplay features to make it a lot more user friendly and make it pug friendly. That way, you don't have to constantly group as a pre-made to have any fun as the hunters. And they also made improvements to how playing as the monster functions, so that you're not useless when you first start playing as the monster, which was a big problem when the game first came out. So they made a lot of gameplay improvements, and I think if Battleborn wants to make a comeback, it not only has to go free to play, it has to make those quality of life changes and fix some of its shit. Otherwise, people are going to be like, oh wait, it's free to play. Oh, it's just like it used to be. Okay, I'm going to quit again. That's just how I see it. But any more final thoughts before we close this out, man?
I I'm just too disappointed with one of these games. So yeah, no, I'm good.
Well, that's been our Overwatch versus Battleborn Postmortem. Thank you for joining us. Like, favorite, and subscribe if we don't suck too bad. If we do suck, thumb us down and shitpost in the comments section. See you later.
We like that.
Yeah, we like shitposting. Later.